Assalamu alaikum students and welcome to SM Public Academy Campus 5. I hope you all are doing good and I hope you all are staying home and staying safe. And at the same time, I believe that you are taking care of all the necessary SOPs during this COVID-19 condition. Remember, you don't have to take it light. It's a serious disease, so you have to be very much careful and you have to take care of yourself all the time. Okay? So, let's begin. I welcome all the grade 8 students to another English literature class. As I told you, this week we will be having only English literature classes back to back all this week because on Saturday you will be submitting your literature copy. Okay, so I want you people to complete the work of literature, all the classwork, all the homework that has been given till tomorrow, that is till Friday, and submit the copy positively on Saturday so that you get it checked in the next week and then you can take it back on next Saturday. Okay, and next week all we'll be doing the English language classes. Okay, we'll be having back-to-back English language lessons next week. Okay, so as you all know, we are doing Macbeth. I want you all to hurry up and take out your Macbeth books and open up the novel. And yesterday, what we studied, if you all remember, let's have a quick flashback of it. What we studied yesterday was that finally, after killing King Duncan, Macbeth becomes the king of Scotland. But Macbeth is still very frightened and he is still very upset because he knows that actually Banquo is one of the people who has been with him when he met the witches. And so Banquo actually recognizes the fact that, Macbeth can be the person behind the killing of King Duncan. And so he has this fear that sooner or later, Banquo might discover that, Macbeth was the person who killed King Duncan. And this fear is making him so restless and so upset that he plans finally to commit one more murder, and that is he plans to kill Banquo. And what is the plan? What is his and Lady Macbeth's plan? That they decide that, okay, we are gonna invite all the noblemen to a feast, and the chief guest would be Banquo and his son Fleance. Okay, and they decide that we are going to honor all the noblemen, we are going to invite all the noblemen from all over the kingdom, and we are going to invite Banquo and his son Fleance, and they will be the chief guests to the invitation. And in the meanwhile, Macbeth sent three men to murder Banquo and his son on the way when they are to reach the castle. And what happens that, when they are attacked, Banquo and his son, Banquo is murdered on the spot, but Fleance, is lucky enough to escape. And he escapes the situation. And when he finally, he escapes and he goes to England. Okay, he escapes to England from Scotland. And Macbeth, in the meantime, when he's sitting at the dinner table with all the other noblemen, there's a seat reserved for Banquo, and all of a sudden, Macbeth again has an illusion that Banquo is sitting at the seat and starts shouting, "What are you doing here?" And all the guests are surprised that who is Macbeth actually talking to, because there is nobody sitting on that seat. It's actually empty. And then Lady Macbeth tries to calm him down and tries to tell him that, okay, there is nobody there, and it's just that Macbeth is upset and he's not feeling well, and so she tries to get off with the situation, and Macbeth finally settles down on his seat. But again, when he's telling all the noblemen that I wish you all good luck, and I hope that Banquo was here by this time, and I wish him good luck. And again, he has an illusion that again Banquo is appearing on the seat, and he thinks actually that this is Banquo's ghost who's again and again coming in bothering him. Why? Because he knows that he has actually got him murdered by now. He has sent the men, and the men must have murdered him by now. So he is actually having this thought in his mind, in the back of his mind, that this is Banquo's ghost who's sitting on the seat and who's actually, making the appearance once and again. And he is actually, coming here to, torture Macbeth. And he's just shouting, "Go away, go away. Why have you come here?" And everybody by that time becomes very upset and very disturbed and very distressed with the situation. And at the same time, Lady Macbeth, she just gets along with the situation, that she tells the guests to leave. She tells them that, okay, all of you need to leave because Macbeth is not feeling well. He is definitely depressed or upset after King Duncan's death and everything, and so please everybody should leave, because she is worried that while Macbeth is shouting and while he's acting mad, or he is just getting mad day by day, he might reveal the truth to people. He might tell the truth to the people that he has actually committed committed the crime. And if he says it by his own mouth, even out of madness or anything, definitely people will show their retaliation or their aggression towards that. And so to hide the crime, she asks the guests to leave, and she tells them, okay, everybody should leave, and Macbeth is not feeling well, but she is actually very upset by this time. And so Macbeth plans that he should see the witches again. Remember, he said that I should see the witches again because the witches know everything. So let's see if Macbeth goes to see the witches or not. So this is like the story so far we have read. Now let's move on. Okay, let's begin reading on page number 27, Macbeth's cruelty. Now you see Macbeth, because he's upset, although he was a loyal, good man, but because he's upset, he's depressed, he has committed a crime, he's trying to hide the crime. So due to all these reasons, Macbeth is actually, becoming cruel day by day, because, to hide his side of the crime, he has to act cruel so that nobody stands up against him. Because if he's a lenient person, then he might have people, opposing him, standing against him, asking him questions. Why did this happen? How did that happen? So to hide or to escape from all of those miseries, what he's doing is, he is actually becoming cruel day by day. And again, because he is not he is having a bad phase. He's having a phase where he is actually trying to get along with the crime, and not only one crime but now two crimes, that now he has also murdered Banco. So he has committed two murders. Now he's the person behind two murders, so definitely he has to you know act like this. It's normal for a person who has been loyal once. Okay, so let's start reading. Macbeth's cruelty. I don't think you people need to know the meaning of cruelty. Cruel is being rude, being bad, okay? Early the next day, Macbeth went to the lonely place where he had met the witches. He found them preparing magic mixtures from parts of animals and plants. They use these secret mixtures to obtain knowledge of future events. So basically, Macbeth plans to meet the witches, and he decides to go to that same place where he last met the witches. It was a lonely part of the city. Remember, it was a lonely part of the kingdom where he met the witches, and he went over there, and luckily he found the witches is there. And what were the witches doing? The witches were actually preparing some magic mixtures. Now this is something you all must have seen in different cartoons and in different movies, how witches is standing and she's preparing a mixture, and actually that looks pretty ugly, but that is the way it has been shown here, that they're actually mixing up animal parts and plants, and they're preparing some kind of a secret mixture. And what do they do after preparing this secret mixture? That they obtain the knowledge of future events from that. So actually, from the blood and from all those dirty parts that they're using from the animals and the plants and the roots and the trunks and the leaves and the trees and the flowers, whatever they are using, they are actually gaining knowledge of the future. Okay, so just try to recall that Tom and Jerry event or some other event from any other cartoon where you see a witch preparing a mixture. It must be something like that. Macbeth asked them to tell, okay, let's move forward, him what happened. To Immediately he saw three devils in front of him. Okay, so what happened? He actually asked them that what has happened, what would happen to him, and immediately he saw three devils. So actually now he is talking to the witches. First the witches met him and they made predictions about him by themselves, and now he has gone to the witches and he is actually asking them that, okay, can you tell me what is going to happen with me, what will be my future, what is planned for me, what has the fate written for me. And he saw these three devils again. The three witches appeared again. The first was in the form of a head wearing a battle helmet. So now the witches have changed their appearance. The first time when they met Macbeth, they were all looking like three ugly witches. But today they are looking, all three of them are looking different from each other. Okay. Now let's look at the description. The first one here, let's see here. Let's highlight this actually. Okay. The first was in form of a head wearing a battle helmet. So actually she was looking like a soldier. The first witch was looking like a soldier. She was cladded in a way that she looked like a soldier, and she was wearing a helmet, a battle helmet that is used in the battle. Battle is a war, a fight. Okay, battle, battle is a fight. So she was actually wearing a fighting helmet. Macbeth began to speak to it. But the witches told him to be silent. Okay, so now Macbeth, he's full of all these questions which he wants to ask the witches. So he's actually, like looking forward that, okay, how can I ask my questions to the witches? And he starts to question, but they tell him to be silent. Then the head slowly said, Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth. Watch Macduff. Watch the Thane of Five. After this, the head disappeared into the ground. Okay, so now what they're doing, what is now happening, that when he went there, he saw the witches were there actually. Now you have to understand this situation in this way. Let me repeat it again to you people, how the situation is happening. Okay, what is happening, there are three witches. Okay, he sees the witches, he goes to them, he sees them that they're preparing some mixtures. Then when they see him, all of a sudden three devils appear there. Okay, it's not the witches, but another three devils that appear there. Okay, and what are the devils doing? All three devils are actually in the shape of different people, different forms. The first devil had a helmet on its head. Okay, it's not the witch, it's the first devil. Okay, devil is a bad thing, kind of bad ghost kind of a thing. So excuse me, the first devil is actually, wearing a battle helmet, and he tells him that watch Macduff, the Thane of Five. So actually, who is Macduff? Macduff is one of the noblemen, and remember, Macduff was the person who was actually not happy with Macbeth. He did not even come to the feast because he said that I think this is some kind of a trap. So he did not come. Lennox came. Lennox was surprised with what was the behavior of Macbeth, but Macduff did not come even because he was actually upset with Macbeth. And he is the Thane of Five. Okay, he is Macduff. Macduff is the Thane of which place? Macduff is the Thane of Five. Five, that like Macbeth was the Thane of Glamis. Macduff is the Thane of Five. Okay, and after that the head disappeared. So the first prediction now made by the devil is that you have to be careful and you have to watch out from Macduff, because Macduff can prove himself to be a threat to you. Okay, the second devil appeared to the noise of thunder. It was in the form of a child covered in blood. So, okay, what was it? It was in the form of a child covered in blood. Okay, and what did it tell? It told Macbeth to be very cruel. So what is it telling Macbeth? To be cruel, bold, and determined, and to fear no one. So basically now the second devil is in the form of a child covered in blood. Now that's again a very awful and a very dreadful sight, that you see a child who's covered in blood. The devil appeared like that, and it came with the noise of thunder. Thunder is actually a loud sound. Okay, a very loud sound that is not actually soft to the ears. You don't find it very pleasant. So he just, that the second devil appeared in the form of a child, and it told Macbeth that you have to be cruel, you have to be bold, you have to be determined, and you have to fear no one. That means you have to be more courageous and more strong. Okay, and at the same time, you have to be cruel, means that you have to show no mercy to no one. Okay, you have to be totally merciless. There was no one born of a woman who could harm him. Macbeth at once thought of the warning he had just received about Macduff. I need not fear him. Then he thought, but he decided that he would kill Macduff anyway to be quite safe. So actually, Macbeth is having his own thoughts in the back of his mind while he's looking at those devils and he's looking the witches talking. So when it is happening that, at the same time, the devil also tells him that you cannot be harmed by a man who has been born from a woman. So he thinks that, okay, fine, this is something very normal and something very, acceptable, that, okay, that means nobody can kill me. And even if I have to be conscious about Macduff, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get him killed also, so that if he's no more, then there is no threat. Since the day he will be alive, or since the time he is alive, then definitely all the time Macbeth is having a threat. So he believes that, okay, I'm going to get Macduff killed. Definitely, like the way I got Duncan killed, I got Bangkok killed, I'm gonna get Macduff killed also, and definitely then there will be no threat to me anymore. So he's just having a planning in his mind going on. Okay. Then the third devil appeared. It was a child dressed like a king and a tree with a tree in his hand. Okay, so now this is the third devil, and what is it appearing like? It's also appearing in the form of a child, but this child is dressed like a king with a tree in its hand. Now, definitely, if it has a tree in his hand, it symbolizes something. Okay, A king, a child who's a king and who has a tree in his hand. This is what the devil appeared like. It said, Macbeth shall never lose a battle until great Birnam Wood moves towards Dunstan Hill. Okay, now Birnam Wood is a wood that was actually near to the Dunstan Hill, and Dunstan Hill is where Macbeth's castle was actually. Macbeth's castle was at Dunstan Hill. So, there was a wood just nearby to it, and it said that, okay, nothing would happen to Macbeth. Macbeth would never lose a battle. He will always be successful. Everything is going to go great until and unless the wood is actually the forest. Birnam Forest, this means, okay? Birnam Wood is Birnam Forest. Until and unless the great Birnam Forest starts moving towards the Dunstan Hill. Now, actually, if you think about it, it sounds totally insane, okay? It doesn't sound sensible. How can a forest move towards a hill? I mean, it can only happen if there's an earthquake or something like that. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. So, basically, whatever the witches are predicting this time, initially when they told Macbeth about the three predictions, they were very direct that you will be the Thane, you are the Thane of Glamis, you will be the Thane of Cawdor, you will be the King of Scotland. But now this time they're actually, making it more, I would say pictorial kind of a thing, that they're actually symbolizing things, okay? Now, if he has a tree in his hand, that means that it has to resemble with the wood, the Birnam wood, okay? So this is what all the three devils told them. That will never happen, said Macbeth to himself. He was encouraged by these words. He believed all he had heard, and he felt he need never fear his enemies again. Before Macbeth left the place, he asked the witches whether any of Banquo's children would ever become kings of Scotland. Okay, so basically now what is happening, that Macbeth is also worried at the same time about Banquo's children, because definitely Fleance has escaped to England, and Fleance is a threat still to Macbeth, but the witches did not tell anything about Fleance or Banquo's children. So Macbeth, before he left, he was satisfied. He was all, like, okay, fine, I have to watch out from Macbeth. I have to be brave. I don't have to act insane or mad anymore. And, I have to be strong. I have to be courageous. And the wood can never move. So nothing's going to go wrong to me. I will never lose a battle. I will always be a winner. I will always be the king. That is what he believes, right? But at the same time, he is also a little bit worried about Banco. So he questions about Banco, okay? Is that clear? I hope this is clear so far. Any questions? You people can ask me now. Otherwise, we will begin the classwork. We will read the next part of this chapter tomorrow, because definitely we still have work to do. So, any question? Otherwise, we shall begin the classwork. I'm giving you 2 minutes. Take out your copies, take out your stationaries, whatever, pens, pencils, scales, whatever you want. Take them out. I'm giving you 2 minutes. Any questions, any queries? Ask me now. Who wants to talk?
इस क्लास वर्क इंग्लिश लिटरेचर कॉपी में करना है ना?
Yes, exactly. All the classwork will be done in the English literature copies. You don't have the language copy. Language copies are with me, bete. You will be getting them back on Saturday, inshallah. And then from Monday onwards, we will have one whole week of language, and we'll keep working in the language copies then. And I'll be collecting the literature copies on Saturday. So then I'll be checking them in the next week. So please make sure that you submit complete copies on Saturday. Okay? Okay, this is the index. Kindly write the index, everyone. Again, I'm telling you, the serial number can be different. Whatever serial number you are following, go with that. I thought it's supposed to be 16. Put the date. And today we are doing the character sketch of Macbeth, okay? Start doing it. I hope everybody is done with the index. Let's move on. Okay. No, I'm giving it. You don't have to write it. No, don't start it from the same page, beta. Put the date and heading on this page and start doing it from the next page. Why will you do it from the same page? No, beta, write on a new page. This is the corrected sketch. Write it on a new page. Okay, Macbeth was a renowned personality of Scotland. Renowned means well-known, okay? He was a well-known personality of Scotland. He was the Thane of Glamis and a nobleman in the court of Duncan. So basically, previously he was enjoying two positions. He was the Thane of Glamis, okay, and he was a nobleman in the court of Duncan, okay? So actually he was having a prestigious position in uh, uh, King Duncan's time. He was holding the rank of Commander-in-Chief of the Scotland Army. So again, he was also the Commander-in-Chief of the Scotland Army. He was related to King, that is, he was a relative of the King. That's why he was faithful and loyal to the King. And that was the reason why he was always been faithful and loyal to the King. He was basically a kind-hearted person. That means he was not a bad person by default, or he was not a by birth, a mean and a selfish and a rude and a bad person. He was a kind-hearted person. He was responsible to safeguard the king's life and borders of the country. He was a brave soldier too. So basically, these are all the qualities of Macbeth. He was actually a very qualitative person. That's why he had been given so many titles and he was honored by the king so much. Okay. So you need to understand that he was not a bad man, but he became a bad man. That's what happens. Okay. भाई से पूछ लो कहाँ है भाई ने निकलवाया तो उसे मुझे नहीं पता कहाँ रखे हैं. Please do neat and clean work. Do need to hurry. I'm giving you a lot of time. We have around 10 to 15 minutes to complete this work. So don't worry. Just take your time, relax, and just do neat and clean work. And please write the spellings correctly. But you have to submit the copies on Saturday. Beta, everything is mentioned there. Same time, 8:30 to 12. It's your homework day today, right? So I'll be submitting, I will also giving you the homework today. You have to do that. It will be probably the character sketch of Banco. I think yes, the character sketch of Banco. So you have to complete that also. Hopefully by the end of this week, that is tomorrow, we will have completed all the work of this chapter. So in the next week only, we'll be doing the revisions basically. And the extra in the next week, not in the next a week after that. Next week is language. In the week after that, probably. Na?
Miss done.
Very good. If you are done, just wait, let others complete. Some people write slow now. Okay, wait a minute. I'll change the slide. Is everybody done? Shall I change the slide?
No, miss, please 5 minutes.
Okay, okay, okay. Take your time. We have time. It's okay. The ones who have done it, just wait for 5 minutes. Give others time, please. Yes, I'm giving you time. Hurry up. You have 5 minutes to complete this, then I'll change the slide. Okay, okay, okay. I'm not. Don't worry. Don't panic. I'm not changing.
Miss done.
Okay. 1 more minute, then I'll change the slide. Okay. So, are you people actually understanding the story of Macbeth? How this is tragic? You see how different it has been portrayed, how differently it has been written. We just had Hamlet. Hamlet was such a nice, good, and loving and caring person by himself. And here Macbeth is just the totally opposite. Macbeth, actually, if I associated, I'm going to associate Macbeth with Claudius because they both are actually committing crimes of the similar kind. They are ready to kill everybody who comes into the way of their kingdom. So, he is a hero come a villain of the movie, not the movie actually, but the play. He's a hero come villain of the play. You people can talk, okay? It's not much that you have to write in the last sentence, you can talk. Not video, not allowed to open the video. You can only, talk. That is, you can talk over the microphone. I've unmuted you people, you can talk.
मिस हमारे मिड टर्म कब होगे?
Midterms will be informed. I don't know about them as yet. They will be, inshallah, happening, I think, in the next 1 or 2 weeks, probably. You will be informed. Don't worry. Don't worry about that. Make your preparations, like all set for everything.
मिस आपने जो पहले जो सिलेबस दिया था इंग्लिश लिटरेचर का उसी के साथ तैयारी करनी है मिड टर्म की
Exactly, but it's going to be the same. Nothing would change. The place would be the same. Definitely, we can't have any other thing going on. Okay, this is the second slide. A U-turn occurred in his life. Okay, you're gonna make a capital U. Okay, don't make a small U. You're gonna make a capital U here. A U-turn occurred in his life when some witches predicted that he would become the king of Scotland. Dominated by his wife, he planned to kill Duncan and become the king himself. Okay, so basically, this is what happened. This is the turning point of the story. This is the U-turn actually in the story where he is, taken away. His thoughts are captured by the words of the witches, and he actually plans to kill King Duncan. And definitely, he's dominated by his wife. His wife tells him, "You don't do this. I don't respect you anymore. I'll take you as a coward for life." So he says, "No, I'll do it what you're saying." And he commits the murder of King Duncan and becomes the king of Scotland. Duncan's son escaped and prepared an army to get back the throne. Macbeth fought bravely, but ultimately was killed by Macbeth. So basically, actually, this is very funny that I'm telling you the end before, but you have to do it like this, that, this is what happened basically, that Duncan's son escaped, and, who was Duncan's son? He was Macbeth. No, he was Malcolm. Sorry, he was Malcolm, and Malcolm escaped, and he gathered an army and he joined with Macbeth. And they both, with their joint forces, attacked, and finally Macbeth was killed and by Macbeth. Now, why was he killed by Macbeth? You're gonna get to know that when you read further. Yes, this is a new paragraph, Vijay. Yes, this is a part of the character sketch. That was the first slide. This is the second slide. You have around 8 minutes to do this. Because after 8 minutes, the class will automatically end. So even if you miss something, again and again, I'm telling you, I always upload the lectures on Google Classroom. So you can always follow the YouTube link, and you can always so what you can do is you can always, open up the link, and if you have missed anything from the classwork, you can do it from there. It's no big deal. Don't worry, don't panic. Okay, Faleha, good if you're done. Yes, Bete, you have to write this, Abdul Ahad. What's wrong? If it's a part, then you have to write, of course. All of this is the classwork. This is the complete character sketch of Macbeth.
Miss Tan.
Good.
Miss done.
Okay, Bete, good if you're done. Let others complete.
Miss done.
Okay, Beta, that's good. If you have done, just check if there is no mistake, there is no capitalization error, there is no punctuation mistake, there is no spelling mistake. You have properly paragraphed it the way I did. Some of you just write things, I don't understand how.
Miss done.
Okay, thank you. If you guys are done, then just revise it. You have 3 more minutes. What about fluence, Fatma? That is a very good question. We are going to read about it. What about fluence? If we are going to read about, I'm going to tell you everything in the story, then what are we going to read? Let's save something for the next weeks. It's good that you're worried about fluence. Let's see what happens to fluence. Definitely, he'll also play his part because his father has been brutally killed. So definitely, and again, he has to become the king of Scotland because as the witches' predictions have been true so far, so this prediction should also be true that Banquo's children would be kings. So Flames would definitely have an opportunity to be the king sooner or later. Okay, you have 4 more minutes. Hurry up and do this. If you have missed anything, then let me know. I can explain it again. Any questions from anyone? Anything that is not clear or anything that has been unclear so far, please let me know. No, 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 Abdul Rahman. Macduff was not the son of Macbeth, bete. How can you believe that? Macduff was a nobleman. None of Macbeth's children's names have been mentioned in this play. It's only Macbeth and Lady Macbeth that have been, talked about. Otherwise, Macduff, Lennox, Banquo, all three of them were noblemen. Malcolm and Donalbain were the sons of King Duncan, and Fleance was the son of Banquo. Okay, and if there is any confusion, open up the character page that I asked you people in the beginning, the introduction and the characters, so that you can very easily understand. That was the reason I gave you that character page, so that you can figure out each character before you have even read the novel, so that it becomes easier. Especially there's a lot of confusion usually between Malcolm, Macduff, and Macbeth, because all of them have more or less the same means, spellings kind of thing. So don't get worried about this. Is it clear, Abdul Rahman? Abdul Rahman, are you there? Have you understood better? Okay, is everybody done? Okay, fine. Thank you, children. I hope the lecture was clear. Any questions, any comments, any queries, you can always ask me in the Google Classroom. And again, take care of yourself and Allah Hafiz. And please make sure that you complete your work. I'll be uploading the homework assignment probably, so you guys just need to do that also, and tomorrow's work also, and then complete copy submitted on Saturday. So take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.